Hello, I'm Edwin St. Welcome to Nightique. Well, you know, you never really know what's going on right down the street from where you live. I mean, who would think that right here among us in the Jackson area, we've got a person that recently played at the ambassador's residence in Tokyo, played piano, invited by Ambassador Kennedy. Ora Reed is such a person, and you know, Ora Reed has always intrigued me. We've talked before on the radio station on WLEZ. I've interviewed her before many years ago, and we've from time to time bumped into each other and stayed in touch. And she's got a marvelous story. She really is an ambassador for the state of Mississippi, and she uses music and her own grace to find her way into very intriguing places all across the world. And so she's here with us, and Ora, I'm happy to say, will be our first musical guest. And we're going to talk to her about her very interesting globe-trotting over these last many years all over the world. So stay with us. We've got Ora Reed with us, and also new information about the Civil Rights Museum, which is being built. All of that coming up on Nightique. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these very important messages.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is hand-picked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507. Well, let's meet Ora Reed. Ora, thank you for coming today.
It's my pleasure.
It's always my pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
We've had media interaction here for a number of years on WLEZ. You've played, and we've played your music on WLEZ radio, and we've talked, we've done interviews. So thank you for coming to our show. This is our new program, Nightique, here on JSU TV, Comcast 14.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now, all these years you've been traveling across the world. Let's go back to the beginning. How did you, first off, did you consciously decide to go into the world of entertainment?
No.
You did not?
No, I've never planned that. I had a friend call and invite me to come and work in Tokyo for 3 months, and I had no idea where. And he said at the Westin Tokyo. So this was before the virtual tour era. So I had Westin send me a brochure from the hotel. And when I saw all of the brass and marble in the lobby, I said, sure, I can live there for 3 months, you know, regardless of what the circumstances are. So I thought, ironically, I ended up being there for 4 years. And that's how it all started.
So, okay, so you moved in and you performed nightly.
Yes.
Okay, so give us an idea. What is it like to perform American standards, jazz standards on piano and sing in an environment like that with, I guess, world travelers and a lot of Japanese folk, right?
Yes, yes. Japanese love all things Western, and they especially enjoy jazz. It's so funny, I would get the oddest requests from young people, and they would request things that you wouldn't even think that they knew. One evening I got a request for strange fruit, and I went, oh, my goodness. And I looked to see the person that had requested it was maybe in their 20s.
Right.
So you just never know what music people are listening to. But I've come to learn that jazz is definitely a universal language.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, something like that song, Strange Fruit, Billie Holiday,
Yeah.
It's such an incredibly heavy duty,
It is.
dynamic
It
piece of
is.
music, and
Yeah.
all of it. You can think of an iconic song.
Yeah.
Anything that Billie Holiday has done, it just resonates even today, doesn't it?
That's true, yeah. I've only done it one time, and it was for a performance with the Niagara Symphony Orchestra. The conductor had written this special thing called the Jazz Players, and that was one of the songs that I had to sing, and it took an awful lot for me to just learn that song and get past all of it.
Yeah,
you know?
past all of it. So how would you characterize, for someone like myself, I've never been to Japan, but I do have an appreciation for Japanese things and the Japanese aesthetic, right?
Yeah.
What are they like?
They are such wonderful people, but I think the main thing that sticks out in my mind, they respect each other's space. You know, there are a lot of people there, but although the city has all of these people, all of these buildings, all of these cars, you never feel crowded. And I've had American friends come to visit me there, and the one thing that they bring home is, it's so quiet. You never hear a car horn. You've got all these millions of cars on the streets every day, and no one's on the horn. It's nothing like New York City.
And yet there's millions and millions of people there
Yes,
in Tokyo.
yes, yes, but they totally respect each other's space. They have very high respect for their own culture, and they try to pass it on, but you know, what's happening now, the young people are exposed to Western television, Western movies, Western food, so they're changing. And I'm watching it, you know, just as our country has changed, their country is changing as well, as far as their culture is concerned.
Right, they're becoming more westernized,
Yes.
which maybe is not such a great thing, right?
I don't think it is
I
for
don't
the
think so either.
Japanese.
So, okay, now, other locations around the world where you've played. I know we've
Yes.
talked about other places.
Well, yes, I spent a year in Rio de Janeiro. That was wonderful. I worked in Dubai.
Tell us about Dubai.
Oh, well, I was there before it got as crowded as it is now. It was much easier to negotiate the city streets and that kind of thing. I was at the Ritz-Carlton there, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Dubai.
Well, tell us about, now, the folks that would come to see you perform. Was that an international group, or was that the local folks from Dubai?
A lot of Emiratis did come in, and yes, it was, you know, an international audience, but primarily Emiratis, and these are the people that own Dubai, you know, and they only come out at night. You do not see them during the daytime, you know,
Really?
because they've brought other people in from other countries to run things and run the businesses, take care of things, and they come out and socialize during the evening.
So how would you describe the personality of those guys?
They're very quiet, very much to themselves. They don't interact an awful lot, you know, because they're relatively private. That culture, yeah, they're relatively quiet. But you see, the thing is, they come to places like the Ritz-Carlton and other hotels because they can't have cocktails at a restaurant. There are no freestanding places where you can have alcohol. It has to be in a hotel, and it has to be a 3-star hotel in order to serve alcohol. So those people who want to have a drink, they visit the foreign hotels primarily.
So it was a great experience.
Oh, it was terrific. Terrific. I even got involved with churches there, and yes, there are Christian churches in Dubai. You know, it's interesting how Sheikh Maktoum gave them property to build a group of Christian churches. They're all together, and you worship on Friday. That's always fascinated me, you know, because we know that our Sabbath is on Sunday, but there the holiday is on Friday.
Now, recently you were invited by Caroline Kennedy, the American ambassador to Japan, to perform. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I had a wonderful time. It was a very special experience because it was at her home, and there were about 2,000 people invited. These were primarily the ambassadors from various countries and their wives, and a lot of presidents of companies within Japan. These are the people that were invited, you know, to that event. And I got a chance to perform with the Navy Swing Orchestra. That was fun, and I brought my own pianist because they had a keyboard, and I don't enjoy playing a keyboard. You know, I'm not as confident as I am with a grand piano. So I had my pianist, and it was terrific. It was absolutely terrific, just to be a part of representing my country on Independence Day, July 4th.
And what was Caroline Kennedy like?
Oh, she's the most gracious host. She and her husband were so kind because I was there for the entire day, and I had this huge suite in their home that was my dressing room. And they had maybe 2 or 3 people that they assigned to me to take care of whatever I might need throughout the day. So it was great.
What a great experience.
It was a major blessing for me, and it was my final performance in Japan because I'd opted out of my contract in May, so this was going to be my, you know, final time there. And then I got the invitation to do that. I stayed an extra week in Japan to do the performance at her home. So that was a very special blessing for me. Yes.
So today on the show tonight, we're going to hear a song. Can you tell us? Can you tell us a little bit about what you want to play?
I'm going to do "Here's to Life." For many years, my favorite song was "I Wish You Love," and I still like that very much. But I think after my very first bout with cancer, I'm a 4-time cancer survivor now, and after that first bout, "Here's to Life" is the jazz standard that said a lot to me. And so that is one of the songs that I will do for you this evening.
Well, we're looking forward to it. You're our first musical performer, so I'm so happy it happens to be Ora Reed.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
It's my pleasure.
And you know, usually when I see Ora, she looks like this. This is a copy of, this is a Japanese magazine that you're on the cover of.
It is.
And you usually have the hat on.
Yes.
So this is kind of, when you walked up today to do the show, before we went on, I didn't recognize you. Because this is usually, so.
Well, yes, I do wear a signature hat most of the time.
So, but you look great either way, okay?
Yeah,
so
well, thank you.
Okay, well, we'll be right back.
All right.
With Ora Reed after this. Well, we're back. It's great to have our own cultural ambassador with us. So, Ora, what's the name of the song?
Here's to Life.
Okay, please play it for us. Thank you.
No complaints and no regrets. I still believe in chasing dreams and placing bets. For I have learned that all you give is all you get. So give it all you've got. I've had my share and drank my fill. And even though I'm satisfied, I'm hungry still. To see what's down another road beyond the hill and do it all again. So here's to life and every joy it brings. Yes, here's to life, to dreamers and their dreams. how the time just flies when love can go from warm hellos to sad goodbyes, and all the memories you've memorized to keep your winters warm. For there's no yes in yesterday. Who knows what tomorrow brings or takes away? As long as I'm still in the game, I want to play for life, for laughs, for love. So here's to life and every joy it brings. Yes, here's to life, to dreamers and their dreams. May all your storms be weathered, and may all that's good get better. Here's to life. Here's to love. Here's to you.
Well, thank you very much, Aura, for being with us.
It's my pleasure. Thank
It's
you
a
so
pleasure
much
to
for
see you
inviting
again.
me.
I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
that you're back here in town with us. Now, it's aurareed.com.
Yes.
And so if anyone has any interest in talking to you about a book, you know, whatever it might be, they can reach you there.
Whatever, they can contact me there. There is a guest sign-in. They can contact me. Just leave a message, and I'll be happy to get right back to
Before
them.
you go on another international trip.
Who knows what tomorrow brings?
Who knows? That was beautiful. That was,
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you were our first guest.
Thank you
musical
very much.
guest on this
I've
show.
enjoyed it very much.
Thank you very much, and good luck with everything. Okay.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank
We'll be
you.
right back after this.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Well, welcome back to the show, and now we continue with, there's a lot of news about the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum in the Jackson area. We've got the project manager of that project, Jacqueline Dace. And
Correct.
Jacqueline, thank you for coming. I
Thank you
appreciate
very
you being
much.
here with
Thank
us.
you for having me.
So, okay, so you broke ground last October.
Yes.
And
yes.
so when will this new museum be completed?
We're opening in connection with the Mississippi Bicentennial, which is December the 10th, 2017.
So now you were telling me before we went on, the Mississippi History, in the Museum of Mississippi History, that was underway, and then Governor Barber was instrumental in helping to bring in the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum as part of that project.
Right. We're connected. We're called the Two Mississippi Museums Project. And so when Governor Barber proposed through the state legislature that we, the state, also fund the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum, we're going to be built under one roof. It just makes more financial sense. It's much more financially feasible to have them in one location, and also much more available for tourists and visitors to come see both facilities.
So can you tell us, what is the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum? What is it all about? What will we see when we go there, when it's open?
You're going to see the truth. You're going to see the history of civil rights in Mississippi from 1945 through 1976, and we're telling it from the foot soldiers' perspective. Those individuals whose names you may not have heard of, but who deserves a right to be part of history and part of the historical legacy, because they gave so much to our, endurance, and gave so much not only to the state but to the national and the international story as well.
So my first idea about it is that this will be an international destination.
This is definitely an international destination. People in Japan, people in Europe, they study civil rights in Mississippi. Mississippi laid the groundwork, and all of the strategic plans that were developed during the civil rights movement, people are still using them today in fights for their human rights and their civil rights throughout the world. So yeah, they want to know a little bit more about our history.
It's all interconnected, you know.
Totally.
And I can remember just the idea that Martin Luther King read Gandhi, you know. I mean,
exactly.
so I mean, it all is sort of connected. So that's going to be very interesting. Sort of like the Blues Trail, we have international folks coming and they're very interested in that. Same here.
Same here. It's a very interesting story that needs it and deserves to be told.
Will you have artifacts from the old days of slavery and such?
We'll have it. We actually will start the museum talking about when blacks came to Mississippi. The primary focus, of course, is the 1945 through 1976 period. So what I'm doing and what we're doing at the Mississippi Department of Archives and History is going around the state and talking to people and collecting artifacts. So yes, we have a great artifact collection and we are looking for much more.
Will there be any type of video oral exhibition where maybe older folks will be talking about their experiences from the past?
That's a wonderful question, and yes, we will. We'll have oral history. We want people to hear the individuals who made the story tell their story. It's going to be a very interactive museum. We're going to have a lot of interactive components, not only for the older community, but also for the kids, to make sure that they, you know, continue to be interested and learn more about the stories.
So, okay, so the target date for opening is when?
December the 10th, 2017.
And there's been some recent news in the Clarion Ledger. Tell us about that.
Exactly. Yesterday we received a gift from the Kellogg Foundation in honor of Mrs. Merle Evers and Governor Winter. $2.3 million donation to the museum for our educational components, both scholarly and community education-based projects. So we're extremely excited about that.
And the location of the museum is exactly where?
It's just off of Jefferson and North Street, right by the William Winter Building, which is going to be a museum district now. You know, the old Capitol Museum is right over there, and it's just above the fairgrounds.
And if our viewers would like more information, is there a website? Where do they go on the web?
We do have the twomississippimuseums.org website. They can connect through the Mississippi Department of Archives and History, or they can contact me at jdace.mdah.state.ms.us.
Great. Well, Jacqueline Dace, thank you for being with us. It's very exciting, and we're looking forward to its opening, and whatever other news will be coming out here. Who knows what next will come. So congratulations and thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
And we hope to see you again, okay?
Thank you.
Well, thank you. That's Jacqueline Dace, and this is Nightique. We'll be back after this. Well, we had our first musical guest. We had Ora Reed tonight, and very thankful that Ora was our first musical guest. And we would like to ask you, our viewers, to respond. We have a website. It's nightique.com, and you can advise us on who might be an interesting artist to have on. And there are so many around town. We had some of the representatives of the blues artists in town recently, and we are hoping soon to have some of those artists, which are of international renown, on our program soon. Also, the news regarding the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum. We had tonight Jacqueline Dace, who's the project manager, and if you would like more information on that project, which is a huge project, a $90 million plus project, and to keep up with the eventual opening of this project, you can go to mississippimuseums.com. Is that right? That is right. So good, I got it right. And so, and there at that site, you can keep track of the development of that project. And one final thing, if you would like to reach out to our musical ambassador, Aura Reed, you can reach her at her website, and that's aurareed.com. Well, good night, everyone. I'm Edward St. Pé. Thanks for being with us on this edition of Nightique.